Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 3. Today I'm gonna watch 2 episodes of Vinland Saga. I'm glad, I'm excited, even if I'm a little stressed, because if the first episode of this Season 2 was there to present us that new character, which is gonna be, who is gonna be important, I think, for the entire season, if not for the entire rest of the anime, Einar and all. If the second episode was really there to present the context right now in which our two characters are evolving, Einar and Thorfinn, the fact that Thorfinn is now a slave for this master, but more really about the context, about this master, the fact that he's working with his slaves, the fact that he's offering to Thorfinn and to Einar to work for him, to be a slave for him, and at some point they are working well enough, they're gonna get their freedom. The fact that these other guys are working for him, but in fact not that much because they don't have the same role, you know, they are not slaves, they are between, you know. The fact that we have this son who wants to do only what he wants, who doesn't want to be a farmer, who wants to be a warrior, to join Canute and all, but clearly is not that clever, like really, when he couldn't have his sword, that was so fun. Like really, it made me laugh a lot. And after that, when he was with that girl, the fact that he couldn't use his sword no matter what, like, he's not the most clever guy. I don't think that he's really that strong neither, so I don't put a lot of things, you know, on him, like a lot of hope, a lot of excitement, like, oh, that's it, he's gonna be an interesting character, how he's gonna evolve and all. I'm not that much interested by that, but really, like, the second episode was there to present the context. We saw that Einar also, like, he still wants to fight back, he still wants to respond to the master, to the other guys. He's not giving up that much, in fact, on his freedom. They didn't manage to brainwash him or anything like that. He still has that anger and he wants to get free at some point. When Thorfinn, we don't know what happened, you know, between the season 1 and the season 2. Clearly I guessed that the boy wouldn't come back home. I think that for Thorfinn is more a question of honor, like he was there, he did all of that to have his revenge. I mean, a revenge for his dad against Askeladd. He couldn't kill Askeladd himself, he couldn't get his revenge. So for him, like, it's a question of honor. He dishonored the memory of his dad, so he can't come back home. He's ashamed of it, something like that. And no matter what, during all of this time, during the entire season 1, emotionally, he was still a kid. He was just blinded by that idea of getting a revenge, and he never imagined what he could do after that, because he never thought about having a life after that, about, you know, getting older, having a life for himself, being an adult, all of that. No, he was emotionally still a kid, even if mentally, physically he was growing up, emotionally not at all. So again, I'm not surprised that he didn't come back home, but the fact that he's a slave right now, what happened really? Because Canute told him, like, you can go away, you can do whatever you want, and clearly a guy like him, like Thorfinn, that strong, that clever, could have done a lot of things. So for him to end as a slave, I don't understand. And his attitude right there as a slave is really obeying to orders blindly, he's not seeing anything. He's really like empty, so maybe something happened that we don't know anything about. Maybe he totally really lost hope for the future that he can have because of all of that question of dishonoring his dad because he didn't have his revenge and all. Or there is a tiny percentage of chance that maybe he learned from Askeladd, you know, that lesson. Askeladd told him that he managed to lie to his own dad during so much time just because he wanted to go against him, to kill him at the right moment without being discovered and all. Maybe Thorfinn is planning something like that. Like, I don't believe that much into that theory. For me, it's a 1% of chance theory, and I believe more into the theory that Thorfinn never imagined a life for himself before askeladd getting killed. He was just blinded by that desire of revenge. He was emotionally a kid. When askeladd died, he thought that his life ended with that because he didn't have his revenge, because he dishonored the memory of his dad. He can't come back home. His life is over, you know, something like that. For me, that theory, I believe into it more like at 80%, something like that. And something else that happened that we don't know anything about, that's the rest of the percentage. So it's really like that into my mind. And yes, episode 2 we learned more about the context, about the fact that Einar also, he wanted to talk to the master about their conditions of work. And in fact he saw that girl, I think that she's a slave, and maybe he fell in love or something like that. Maybe it's gonna be important at some point. And their relationship, Einar and Thorfinn, is gonna be truly important because Einar, at the end of the episode 1, really said that his entire life was at this point, and things changed when he met Thorfinn. We don't know why exactly for now, but things changed when he met Thorfinn. So with these 2 episodes that I'm gonna watch today, I'm really expecting to really progress now with the story. Now that episode 1 we learned more about Einar, like Einar was presented to us. Episode 2 we know now the context, like that's it. Episode 3 and episode 4 that I'm gonna watch today, we're gonna know why, how Thorfinn ended up right there, and we're gonna find a solution to get them out of here, you know, something like that. And for sure I want to have news about Knut, like him also evolved, like that it is the king since at least entire months, so I can't remember how many times it has been. When Leif went to that slave market, I think that he said since how long he's searching for Thorfinn again. Like really, it's making me mad that because of Thorfinn, Leif is losing entire years just searching for that kid who doesn't want to be found. Like during the entire season 1 it was that, and right there it's still that. For Leif to not give up, it's really like he's the best person on earth, the nicest one, and I admire him so much for that. But at the same time, it's making me mad, like, I want him at some point to get mad at Thorfinn. You're too nice with Thorfinn. You need to get mad at him a little. And it's also making me mad because we know that his mother is sick. And if Thorfinn's mother is dying, will die before him coming back home, it's gonna make me really angry for life at Thorfinn for that, you know, like for sure I love Thorfinn no matter what, but I'm gonna be angry at him at that until the end of this anime of Thorfinn. Do you understand what I mean? Oh, and I didn't forget that at the end of the season 1 we had 3 characters presented to us. I think that one, the girl, it was Thorfinn's sister. One, now we know that it was Einar. And the other one, that blonde guy, being like that into the mountains and all, I have the impression that it might be Ragnar, you know, like Knut's brother. He was looking like Knut, and it would be logical, like knowing that Knut is on the throne, maybe he was trying to get away, to run away, because he knew that his brother would try to do something against him, to not have anyone threatening him on the throne, something like that. That's my theory for now also. But really for these 2 episodes, I would love to know how and why Thorfinn ended up right there. Some news about Knut, and maybe evolving a little into the story, having these 2 getting out or trying at least. I'm I'm gonna stop this intro right there. Let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want on my Patreon, you can have these reaction videos for Vinland Saga earlier. You can have 2 weeks of advance, which means 4 episodes of advance. It's really a lot, 4 episodes of advance. On my Patreon, you have a longer reaction part, which can be also the full reaction part, in fact, for big episodes, and for Vinland Saga I already put a lot of them, a majority, in fact, of full reaction part videos, full opacity no matter what for each of these videos for Vinland Saga, for the reaction part, I mean, and yes, 4 episodes of advance, full opacity, full reaction part most of the time, if not, no matter what, longer reaction part, and it's the best way to support me. That's why I'm giving you all of these advantages, to encourage you to come on my Patreon, because it's the best way to support me. I'm a little reactor on YouTube and on Patreon, so if you want and if you can, please come. It can be appreciated and truly useful, even if it's just for 1 month. Let's go for this episode! He's drunk and stupid. He can be dangerous. And he's wasting alcohol. Young, drunk, stupid. Good job. Good job. In 1 move, you have him. Let him cry like a baby. I'm not interested at all by him. Not even that. Begin by stop crying and acting like a baby. Huh? Worst idea ever. A drunk, stupid baby? You're telling him to kill someone? No. But clearly, you're saying all of that because you have a plan in mind. Thorfinn? You think that Thorfinn? Ah, okay, just slaves. It's a nightmare, it's a nightmare. Which moment? When he was trying to reach Askeladd, you know. When he saw that Askeladd was dead. The girl you had a crush on, like... Einar? Don't be so surprised, like... No! Oh! Thorfinn. You truly don't remember your dream? I'm pretty sure that it's that moment. Arnett? No, a slave, I think. He's a good master, so I think that she's well treated, you know. You think the young master can kill one of them? Oh. For sure they don't want to get killed, but do they want to kill the son of their master? No. For sure they are. Einar, you didn't understand. You're a slave. Your life doesn't count. He's gonna pee on himself, that's all of what he's gonna do. Thorfinn, you know how to defend yourself. Ah! Okay, for it, Einar. You want it? Don't run away. I'm gonna have to do it myself. First you're someone lazy. You're sleeping that much and now you're asking for someone else to make your breakfast. Do you want to trap him or are you really tired of living? Like, you're okay to sacrifice yourself for Einar? The fact that Einar wanted to protect you, for you to run away, he has really a big heart. Not a big brain, but a big heart. You're not real warriors, according to Thor's rule, but no matter what. Even according to thorkell's rule. He's afraid of everything. He's not. But who the fuck are you and how are you gonna intervene into all of that? Are you gonna help us with that? Never. Okay, it's empty and all right now, Thorfinn, but I think that he has still that ego, you know, inside of him, that much that he's never gonna beg for his life. Yes! Intervene! Do something! I don't know who you are, but I don't know. It's a lie. It's a lie! you can't see it. That's the difference. All of your childhood with your family, life who searched for you this entire time, who loved you that much. Oh, I'm not mad at that. If it can be a punishment for you to remember how much you're wrong. Askeladd who taught you all of that, even if you... Your his boss? Huh? Oh, and they were also afraid of him. That lazy guy is respected a lot. Who the fuck are you? Yes, I don't want to watch any preview. Who the fuck is he? Clearly, is their boss, the boss of these warriors, the boss of these guest bodyguards, these guys that the master is hiring to protect his place. Clearly, Thorfinn explained that better than me, in fact. He is their boss. He went away during some time, that much that all of his guys thought that it was okay to make things as they wanted, meaning that they could kill slaves just like that. Slaves that they don't own, you know, like slaves who belong to their master. No matter what, they think that they are that important, you know, and all that they can decide that these slaves can be killed and no one is gonna say anything about it. You're the boss of these bodyguards, these guys. You went away long enough for your guys to act as they wanted. You went away, you want to see your grandpa. Clearly you're not that nice with him. How you're talking to him, like you can be someone nice fundamentally, but you are acting like a lazy teenager, sleeping a lot, asking for people to make you breakfast and all, like you can't cook by yourself while your grandpa is working. Okay? But when you came back, they were all afraid of the fact that you're there, how you would react, what you would do. They were just obeying to you, scared of you and all. So I don't know who the fuck you are, but you're their boss, they're afraid of you, they're respecting you, they're obeying to you. Not that much that they can be afraid of you when you're not there, but when you're there, they're afraid of you. Okay. Okay for that part, you know, okay for that guy that we don't know anything about. You know, I was thinking, can he be someone that we met into the past that I'm not recognizing? I don't think so. Can he be someone that we heard about and never saw? For sure I'm thinking about Knut's brother. I don't think so, because I imagine that Knut's brother is gonna look like him, and again I'm thinking about that blonde person who ran away, who was walking, you know, into that snow at the end of the season 1, and for me that person was Knut's brother. Someone else? Someone related to someone that we know? I don't know. We'll discover that, I think, into the next episode, who he is truly. For what happened during this episode, the fact that Thorfinn is making these nightmares and truly he doesn't remember his nightmares, you know, when he's waking up, he doesn't remember what he was dreaming about. I'm not gonna be like that's it, he had an amnesia moment and he doesn't remember who he is anymore, all of his entire story, because after that we had him saying that he had no good things into his life. So clearly he remembers his life. It's not that the issue. Okay, you didn't remember your nightmare. For how you were screaming, how you were moving, for me it was not Thor's death, it was Askeladd's death, you know, how much he was fighting to reach Askeladd's body, how much he was screaming because he was not okay with Askeladd being killed by someone else than him, and clearly for me it was a turning point for Thorfinn, the fact that he was blinded by rage and his only goal was to kill Askeladd. Askeladd is dead, not by him, meaning that he dishonored his dad and he has nothing else into his life because he had nothing else before into his life. So he lost everything, that's why he's so empty, that's why he's not afraid of dying and all. So for me his nightmare was about that. Then we have Einar and him being taken to be killed, one of them to be killed by Olmar. Olmar is so stupid, he's so... oh, such a baby, crying like a baby, acting like a baby, you know, he's making like a caprice, like, oh, I'm tired of this one. That thing about you need to kill someone to become a man, no, not at all. And no matter what, for this one to kill someone, it's gonna take some time or a lot of alcohol, I think. Einar, who is trying to fight him, who is screaming to Thorfinn, run away, escape, like to defend Thorfinn, to do something like that. It's not that much a surprise for me because at the end of the episode 1, when we had Einar presented to us and all of his background presented to us, I told you so, like, this one has a big heart but not a big brain. And clearly, he has such a big heart that clearly he's gonna want to protect everyone and he's not gonna think about his own protection, you know, himself. And right there he thinks that Thorfinn is weak and also he's gonna go to protect Thorfinn to fight that guy and all. Even more because of his background and the fact that he couldn't protect his mother, his sister. But clearly he has not a big brain because, again, he's not really thinking twice about his actions, he just went for it and all, like... I'm gonna learn to love him, I'm not there yet, but I already appreciate him a lot. But no matter what, you know, no matter if at some point I'm gonna truly love him, I'm still gonna be honest about the fact that you're not thinking twice about stuff. It can be a big quality, you know, but right there... For Thorfinn to offer to sacrifice himself, to be killed, to be the one to be killed, I'm wondering, you know. For sure it's because of the fact that he doesn't want for Einar to be killed. Okay, you're offering yourself, but does it mean that you're really that okay to be killed because you don't care about your life anymore? And it seems to be the case, you know, with things that he's saying at the end. Was it because he thought that he could defend himself? We know that he can defend himself. He would have no issue with that at all. For me, like I said, I truly think that he is just okay to be killed because, again, he's feeling empty. He never imagined a future for himself during this entire time that he was blinded by this idea of having a revenge against Askeladd and all. Askeladd being killed, like, before that, he never imagined a future for himself, so for sure, when Askeladd is killed, he had no idea of what he can do into his life, and maybe he doesn't want one, maybe he doesn't feel like he deserves one, you know, like, it's Thorfinn, he's thinking like that, so it's not that much surprise that he could not be interested to continue to live, because he doesn't see the point of living, and that's what he's saying also. But I'm not okay at all with what he's saying about the fact that nothing good happened into his life. I think that he's totally wrong with that, with everything that happened when he was a kid. His entire family who loved him so much, like all of these good years that he had with them, all of what his dad taught him, the love that his mother and his sister showed him. And then, you know, okay, you were with Askeladd and you wanted to kill him, but it means that you didn't realize all of what Askeladd taught you in a way, like you can't accept it right now, but Askeladd was your mentor, in fact, during this entire years, and you learned a lot from him. Leif, who is wasting entire years of his life for you, to search for you, who found you when you didn't want to be found, and you didn't accept it, we're still searching for you right now, like, you are so loved, Thorfinn, by a lot of people, dead or alive, and yes, you lived good moments, but you're too empty right now, too self-centered also. Like, it's really the issue for me with Thorfinn, the fact that he's so self-centered that he can't place himself, you know, in someone else's shoes and see how they're thinking and what they can feel and all, and that's why he's feeling himself like that right now. But you know, it's going also with my impression that Thorfinn, emotionally, never evolved, is still a kid, and it's a little that, you know, the difference also between being a kid and being an adult, it's when you're beginning to think, you know, like for the other ones, to have empathy for other people, so to feel what they can feel, and because of that, to, you know, to act different, to consider someone else's feelings and lives and all. And Thorfinn, I love you, but you're rough, like you're really like that. Right there, you can consider that it was brave for him to not move when that guy was again and again. But it was not an act of bravery, it was a sacrifice, like you're a martyr or something like that. When you're not, you're clearly not Thorfinn. I really think since a long time, since it happened, you know, since Thors died, that Thorfinn is not seeing himself clearly. That Thorfinn mentally, like, he's really clever, mentally he evolved, physically he evolved, emotionally he never evolved, and right now I have the impression that he just proved it again. It can feel like he's different because he's that empty, that cold and all, but really fundamentally inside of his mind, no, he didn't evolve at all. It's not because he's saying big words, big lines and all about life like that he evolved. No, like if you're researching his ideas behind that, no. I love you, my dear, but no. Okay, I'm gonna watch one more episode of Vinland Saga today. It's all for you for today, for this video, and it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.